If you've got around 600 or 1000 damage and you're struggling to increase it, don't worry, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to reach max damage. To get max damage in Sailor Peace, you need to increase your damage step by step. In this first step, I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way to massively boost your damage with just a few things. You'll need clan rerolls, race rerolls, and bloodlines, because all three of these increase your damage in different ways, and you can get them easily by using codes or killing any NPCs in the map. If you want to reach the highest possible damage, you need the best race available. The best race right now is Archangel, and its buffs are 22% sword damage multiplier, 55% luck, 115% max HP, 22% melee damage, 15% drop double chance, 2 extra jumps, and 100% damage. Now, after getting the race, let's move on to clan rerolls. The best damage clan for sword users is the Devil clan. Its buffs are also extremely strong. 42% damage, 60% max HP, 12% sword damage, 15% luck, 30% chance for +1 drops. After that, you'll need the best bloodline as well. For sword builds, the best bloodline is Doombringer, and this bloodline is absolutely insane. Check out these buffs: 35% damage, 15% luck multiplier, 2% lifesteal, 12% sword damage multiplier, 40% max HP. When you combine Wraith Race, Devil Clan, and Doombringer Bloodline together, your damage becomes absolutely broken and you'll notice a huge difference instantly. Now let's move on to Haki, because this is another huge damage boost that many players ignore. First, you need to get Armament Haki. You can obtain it in the first sea at Frozen Island. Go to the first sea and talk to the NPC located behind Frozen Island. She will give you a series of quests, and you basically need to complete every quest she gives you. Once you finish them all, go back to the NPC and buy the Haki. After unlocking it, make sure to level up your Haki to the maximum level because it gives an extra 75% damage boost, which is absolutely massive. Next, head over to Desert Island and buy Observation Haki. The good thing about this one is that you don't need to complete any quests for it. You can purchase it directly. After buying Observation Haki, level it up to level 25. Once you reach that level, go back to Shibuya Island and come to this area. Talk to the NPC there and complete all of the quests he gives you. It can take some time, but it's definitely worth the grind because it gives you an extra 35% damage boost. Another important step is increasing all of your tower buffs. These buffs can massively improve your damage, and there are currently 3 different towers in the game. First, I'm going to show you one of the easiest towers to grind, Boss Rush. For Boss Rush, the fastest method is using the Ice Queen sword. All you need to do is stand in the middle and keep auto-using the V move. It clears bosses extremely fast, making the grind super easy. After that, you can basically stay AFK and farm boss rush tokens for hours. Use those tokens to increase your boss rush damage boost as much as possible. Next, head over to the Infinite Tower. Set the auto reset to floor 49 and use the same Ice Queen sword trick here as well. Just stay AFK for hours while farming and keep upgrading your damage boosts from the tower rewards. After that, move on to the Crystal Tower and repeat the same strategy there too. While grinding, there's also a chance to obtain the Anti-Magic Sword and the Demonic Wing accessory, which are both really good items to have. Once you max out all of the tower buffs, your damage will increase by a huge amount and you'll notice a massive difference in your overall strength. The next step is accessories and titles, because both of them can give you huge extra stats and damage boosts. For accessories, one of the easiest and fastest good outfits to get is the Spirit Warrior outfit. Before fighting the boss, make sure to grind a lot of spirit keys first. Once you have enough keys, start farming the boss using your luck build to increase your chances of getting drops. Your goal is to collect around 17 Spirit Warrior outfits so you can upgrade it all the way to E10. It may take some grinding, but the stats are definitely worth it. Now let's talk about titles. Get a strong title. You'll need to collect a lot of raid keys, You can obtain raid keys by killing any NPC around the map. After collecting enough keys, start the raid boss fight. The boss can be difficult to kill because it has extremely high HP, so it's a good idea to invite your friends to help you clear it faster and more consistently. Keep farming the raid boss, and eventually you'll get the title drop. Once you obtain it, you'll gain another solid boost to your overall damage. Next, let's talk about auras and cosmetics. These two can also help boost your overall damage in the game. One of the fastest and easiest ways to get good auras and cosmetics is by using codes. However, you can only redeem these codes after reaching Ascension Level 3. Once you unlock Ascension Level 3, start redeeming all available codes. These codes can give you a lot of aura crates and cosmetic crates. If you're lucky enough, you might even pull legendary auras and legendary cosmetics. When combined, good auras and cosmetics can provide around 30% extra damage, 20% extra health. So even though many players ignore them, they actually give a really solid boost to your overall build and damage output. Now let's move on to the skill tree. This part is a little harder to max out, but the buffs are definitely worth it. Let me show you exactly how to max your skill tree as fast as possible. First, go to the skill tree NPC located at Slime Island. When you open the skill tree, you'll see a lot of different upgrade options like damage, crit chance, luck, health. But for maximum damage, you should mainly focus on damage, crit chance. To upgrade these stats, you need skill points. You can earn skill points by killing NPCs, and every 250 NPC kills gives you 1 skill point. Now let me show you the best farming spots for both Seas. For the first sea, go to Shinjuku Island. You'll need the Quake Fruit for this method. Come to this spot and use the sea move repeatedly while staying AFK for a while. It clears NPCs really fast and makes farming skill points much easier. For the second sea, go to Starter Island and come to this location. Use the exact same Quake Fruit trick here as well and stay AFK while farming. After grinding for some time, you'll eventually have enough skill points to fully max out your important skill tree stats and massively increase your overall damage. Now let's talk about runes, because runes can massively boost your damage as well. Currently, the best rune in the game is the Primordial Rune. This rune is absolutely insane. At its base level, it gives around an 85% damage boost, and when fully maxed out, it can provide up to a 125% damage boost, which is one of the highest damage increases in the game right now. And you can get this rune by clearing Infinite Tower, and it will take hours of grinding to get Primordial Rune, and there's a pity of 10,000s of floors if you're not lucky enough. However, getting the Primordial Rune can take a lot of grinding and AFK farming. If you don't have time for that, you can instead go for the Havoc Rune, which is also a really strong option for damage and much easier to obtain. Also, don't forget to level up your rune to the maximum level. A maxed rune gives a huge difference in stats and damage. The easiest way to max your rune level is by continuously AFK farming the rune dungeon for materials and upgrades. Now let's move on to artifacts, because this is one of the most important systems for increasing your damage. Artifacts are extremely powerful since they boost multiple stats at the same time, including damage, crit chance. However, you need to use your resources carefully. Don't waste your dust on bad artifacts, because dust becomes very valuable later on. There are many different types of artifacts in the game, and you can obtain them by killing NPCs anywhere around the map. NPCs have a chance to drop artifacts while farming, so the more you grind, the more chances you have of getting good ones. Once you get strong artifacts, start using your dust to upgrade and max out every body part of the artifact system. Focus on improving the best artifacts first, so you get the highest possible stat boost. After fully upgrading your artifacts, you'll notice an insane increase in your overall damage, and crit chance, making your build much stronger overall. Another important thing is blessings, and this is actually one of the easiest ways to boost your damage. Blessings work for both melee and sword builds. All you need to do is make your sword or melee reach B10, Once you get it to be 10, gives a lot of damage boost. However, there's one important condition you need to remember. The blessing damage boost only works while you are holding your sword or melee weapon. If you switch away from it, you won't receive the extra damage boost anymore. So make sure to keep your weapon equipped while fighting to fully benefit from the blessing buffs. Next, let's talk about powers and spec passives, because these play a huge role in increasing your damage in Sailor Peace. First, let's talk about powers. As you can see, I don't even have a top tier power yet, but I still deal a huge amount of damage. That alone shows how important powers are. If you manage to get a really good power, your damage can increase by a massive amount. So never stop grinding for better powers, because getting a strong one can completely change your build and make your damage much higher. Now let's move on to spec passives. You also need to get a good spec passive on your sword, because the better your passive is, the more damage you'll deal overall. One of the best passives you should aim for is Rampage. Try to get a strong Rampage passive with high damage percentages. The higher the Rampage stats are, the better your overall damage becomes. Or the best results, try your hardest to get a Rampage passive with more than 25% damage, because that gives a huge boost and makes a noticeable difference in combat. For the best results, try your hardest to get a Rampage passive with more than 25% damage, because that gives a huge boost and makes a noticeable difference in combat. Next, let's talk about stat rerolls, because this is one of the most important things you need for maximum damage. To reach the highest possible damage, you should aim to get at least these stats in damage, crit chance. These three stats are the most important when it comes to increasing your overall damage output. Now let me show you the easiest way to get these stats on all of them. As you can see, I managed to get Z in all three stats without spending too much time or resources. It mostly depends on your luck, so if you keep re-rolling consistently, you'll eventually get good stats as well. Final is Index. Just keep grinding and get swords, melees, titles, and everything. When you max out your Index, you'll get around a 35% damage increase.